The brothers.
I honestly have no idea.
All right. Cool. What are we doing? We're garage sailing.
We're garage sale. Still garage sale season.
It is still garage sale season. So a couple weeks ago, I went to Seattle for the weekend, and I had some time to kill, and I hit one sale, and I was one and done.
And this isn't everything that you got in that one sale.
Not quite. I've sold a couple things, but this is mostly everything. I just kind of stumbled upon this sale, and it was an Asian family, and I could tell the dad didn't speak a ton of English, and I asked him about video games, and he just pointed to his son, like this, and I'm like, okay. And I said, hey, I'm looking for video games. The son was a lot younger. The son was, 20-ish maybe.
Spoke great English.
Oh, yeah. And he goes, oh, what are you looking for? Now, of course, I just start naming, blah, 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 Nintendo 60 Wii.
Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
Turbo Graphics.
And so he goes inside, and then his mom comes out. And his mom has a 3DS XL. And she just hands it to me. And I'm just kind of scratching my head, like, and I don't think she speaks great English either. Because the mom and dad really weren't talking much. Finally, the kid comes back out, and he's got a big stack of Xbox games. I think those two. And I'm like, okay, you got any DS games or 3DS games? Like, he's a Japanese kid. All I'm thinking of is Pokemon, right? I'm not trying to stereotype, but maybe I am. I don't know. I just want Pokemon games. Like, okay. So he goes back inside, and then he comes out with a stack of PS Vita games. And he puts it on the table. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. You know?
Still looking for
what
Pokemon.
else you got? He went inside, and he comes out with a stack of PSP games. He puts it on the table. Okay. Then he came out with a stack of PS4 games, along with one solitary PS2 game. I left some PS4 games behind. Some of them just weren't really.
This game?
He finally came out with some DS games. There's Advance Wars, Dual Strike on DS, as you can see. And then just some loose carts. Mega Man, and then Mega Man 5 Battle Network, and then another Mega Man.
The last Mega Man game I played was Mega Man X on the Super Nintendo.
And then one Game Boy Advance game. Shaman King, Magic Spirits.
That's what I was going to guess.
Something. It's a Konami game. I've never heard of it.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Let's go through some of the. So this is, and then a PS2 game, Dynasty Warriors something too.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you pay for the whole lot?
Including the 3DS.
Yeah.
Oh, he had 4 Switch games. Loose carts. Wolfenstein 2.
Okay.
The other 3 I've already sold. Animal Crossing. Mega Man 11. I don't even remember. Another Switch game. Just loose carts. And they're all decent titles. I mean, the Animal Crossing was like $35 game or something like that. So I bundled up a bunch of stuff. I left a handful of PS4 games behind. You know the kind of, they're not worth much. AAA titles, but they're not worth
Assassin's
anything.
Creed, probably.
Yeah. Well, I think I did get a couple of those for Xbox. Anyway, he said $120 for everything. So I said, okay.
Done. Japanese people are notorious for keeping their things in perfect condition.
Everything is perfect. I mean, some of these are unopened. Some of these are, like 4 or 5 of these are brand new. They've never been opened. Some of them still have the receipts inside.
Well, let's go through some of the games.
So we saw the Advance Wars, Dual Strike.
Saw those.
So I got a stack of PSP games. We'll do the PSP games
Yeah, let's
first.
do those first.
Castlevania, Dracula X Chronicles, which I think is just a compilation game, right?
Yeah, so it's Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood.
Yes. I'm trying to bulk up my PSP collection.
You just did.
And Vita, for that matter.
You did that too?
Next is the game that we all want. I know. Dead or Alive Paradise. Phil and I fired this up. It is just as stupid as it looks.
We did?
Yeah, when we were at my house last week.
All right.
It is just as stupid.
I mean, I've already forgotten it.
Polygon girls in bathing suits. I couldn't even figure out what the point of this game is. But it's worth like $40.
Jeez.
I don't know. I don't understand why it's worth money. Oh, so did I mention this kid was Japanese?
Yeah.
He had some import games. I don't even know what this is called. I'm not even going to try to say it. Oh, wait. No, there's some English on here. Jaki Sengoku Musou. That's all I can read. Everything else is in Japanese.
Aye.
Don't ask me what it is. Harvest Moon, something or other. Capcom Arcade Classics Collection. Mr. Miyagi. I don't know. I give up. Crash Tag Team. Dynasty Warriors Volume 2. Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. And then Grand Theft Auto Liberty Stories.
All right, what do we got on the Vita here?
PlayStation Vita. I was really stoked to see Vita because I have a PlayStation Vita I found, I don't know, 4 years ago at a yard sale.
I'm yet to find one.
I don't have any
I'm yet
games
to find
for it.
one that works.
Yeah, but I need games for it.
Oh, now you got
So we got, I don't know what this is. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. So is this like PlayStation's version of Super Smash Brothers?
It's got to be. Oh, yeah. That's the Little Big Planet character.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then, I don't know who, there's a big fat chick on there. I don't know.
whatever.
Is that still politically correct to say?
I think you have to call them Lizzos.
Okay. I don't know who that is, and at this point I'm too embarrassed to ask.
Freedom Wars. Oh yeah, dude. This does not have any English on it whatsoever. Anything, but this game.
All right. That game.
That game. Another
Just-
Japanese game. This has some English on it. Tokiden? It sounds like Toshinden, but I know it's not. It looks like a fighting game, though.
That's honorable.
It's very honorable.
Yeah.
Ragnarok Odyssey. God Eater 2. That's another import game. Muramasa. And I think this is the most valuable game of the whole lot. I looked up everything.
I thought that would be.
No, not anymore. Yeah.
Come on.
And then Persona 4 Golden. I've been meaning to get into a Persona game.
I've played a good chunk of that and then Persona 5.
Yeah.
But I do get the draw. The battle system is fun. The story is interesting. I just can't devote that much time to a game about being a Japanese high school student.
The guy that I bought this from probably could relate to it.
I don't have anything in common with that.
Yeah.
Which I prefer my RPGs to be a medieval setting, which, okay, I don't have anything in common with that either. But that's just how, that's just my
Yeah,
preference.
you want to project yourself into the story.
Yeah,
It's
I've
more
always wanted
fun.
to, be, slay dragons in medieval times.
Sure.
I've never wanted to be a Japanese high school student.
Never?
No.
You didn't want to have high expectations from your parents and do a ton of homework every night?
I don't want to do any of that.
Let's move on. Dynasty Warriors Next.
That's the third Dynasty Warriors game that you've come across.
You spoke too soon. Extreme Legends Dynasty Warriors Complete Edition.
Okay. 4 of them so far.
4 of them so far. Those are the PS Vita games.
Go through these really quick.
Yeah, I'll go through these really quick. Resident Evil Origins Collection, Far Cry 5, a brand new Far Cry Primal, a brand new Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, brand new Fallout 4, brand new Yakuza Like a Dragon, and then Grand Theft Auto 5, Devil May Cry
Grand Theft
5.
Auto 5.
Yeah, there's another Grand Theft Auto 5 for 360. Resident Evil 2 Revelations, Shadow Warrior, Assassin's Creed Origins, Assassin's Creed Unity, Doom. This is a fun game. I
love
the new
Doom. Yeah.
Murdered Soul Suspect,
Another Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors, and then Dragon Ball Fighter Z Day 1 Edition.
And then another Grand Theft Auto 5, Warriors 3, Orochi,
Sure.
Fable 3, unopened, Dynasty Warriors. What is this?
Yeah,
The
kid
7th
like
Dynasty
Dynasty
Warriors game? And then you got on PS4, you've got Nier Automata, Tokiden.
Oh, that was one of the Vita games with Tokiden
okay.
something.
I never heard of it.
Never heard of it either.
Batman Arkham Knight.
I've always wanted to play Nier Automata. It's a Square Enix game. It's an RPG. I remember when it came out, I was listening to the soundtrack. Really liked the soundtrack.
Okay.
Now I just need a PS4. I don't have a PS4.
Well, that was a nice little score.
The 3DS XL paid for everything.
Yeah.
Alone.
Yeah. So these games are all free.
These games are basically all
So
gravy.
this was in Renton?
This was in Renton, Washington.
So this
which
is in Renton.
It's where I used to
We
live.
both used to live in Renton. Of course, we moved to Idaho over the past few years. But I was just thinking about this. Now that we don't live there anymore, I think it would probably be cool to just tell everyone where I found all those Earthbound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you haven't, and we haven't had regular content on this channel in a while, but 2-season period, I found 3 copies of Earthbound on the Super Nintendo. I kept one of them, obviously. And I'll just tell everyone where I found it, because weirdly, all 3 of these Earthbounds I found within probably a 5-mile radius of each other.
The Earthbound belt.
It was insane. And I'll overlay maybe Google Maps on here, but I'm going to just tell everybody. So the first one I found, I was in Bonnie Lake, Washington. And I can't remember the highway, but I'll show it on the map. And I just went over, found a whole buttload of games, including Earthbound, and Aero Fighters was in that lot too. Just an insane find. And then the next one I found was, I met the guy in Enumclaw, and he told me about his dad's huge collection. His dad had all these games. So I'll make a long story short, because it's a really long story. It went on probably 6 weeks from start to finish.
We did a video on this.
We did a video on this one. And when I went to his dad's house, guess where he lived? Bonnie Lake.
Bonnie Lake.
Right down by the lake. Huge house, too. His dad obviously real well off. And that was another massive score. Biggest score of my life, honestly. And Earthbound was in there, along with Chrono Trigger and a bunch of other RPGs. And then the third Earthbound I found, I was in Bonnie Lake again. And I'll overlay, because I remember exactly where this was. I'll put that on the map. It was just the first sale of the day, 8 a.m. Walk up, some lady got into video games. She brought out a box. She's like, here you go. I bought the Super Nintendo Classic, and these games are all on. She basically sold me every game that was on the Super Nintendo Classic, because she doesn't need them anymore.
Doesn't need them anymore.
And that was my third Earthbound. Honestly, if you drew a circle, it's got to be 5, 6, 7 mile radius. All 3 Earthbounds.
Wow.
I call it the game belt.
We should rename Bonnie Lake Earthbound Lake.
Honestly, Bonnie Lake, like the main lake there is called Lake Taps. It's not even called Bonnie Lake.
Yeah, that's true.
And so some of these may have been technically in Lake Taps, but that whole area, it's somewhat sparsely populated. They don't have a lot of real dense neighborhoods, and when they do, they're very modern neighborhoods, and you're never going to find Earthbound in a modern neighborhood. Bonnie Lake, Lake Taps, Enumclaw, there's another town that I can't remember the name. I used to hit all those, and it's a lot of driving. That's where I found 3 Earthbounds.
All right, you heard it.
There's our thumbnail.
If you're in the Seattle area, go to Bonnie Lake. That's where your
Lake
Earthbounds
Taps.
are.
I don't care if there's only, I would wake up on Saturdays and plot out my course, and I'd be like, there's only 4 sales in this whole area. I could go to 30 sales in Kent or maybe Tacoma or something, but I would rather go to 4 sales in Bonnie Lake. And I mean, it's pretty inarguable, if that's a word, that I made the right decisions, because Earthbound is just falling from the sky.
You can't argue with that.
My numbers were sick over there.
Yeah.
Enough about that. I have a good score too that I'm going to show, so we're going to clear some stuff off here.
Okay. What do we got?
All right. I went to like 3 garage sales last weekend, and as I scored again. I don't know. I've had really good luck this year. I get to this garage sale, and they've got a pile of PS4 games just sitting on a shelf. No prices or anything. So I said, how much for the games? And she said, $2. And I'm like, $2 each? I can find something in there. And she said, no. The whole stack is $2. I was like, I'm not even gonna look. Dude, take my money.
I don't care what system it is. Yeah. I don't care what games they are.
Yeah.
You gotta just take it.
MXGP2. Need for Speed Rivals. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have paid $2. Watch Dogs. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Really
that was the other Switch game that I got. Okay. That I already saw.
I'm not a Crash fan at all.
I'm not a Crash fan either. I don't like... It's a 3D game, but it plays like a 2D game. Yeah. It's very narrow.
And there's a lot of
linear.
And there's a lot of running this way.
Yeah, which I hate.
I hate it so much.
It's so dumb.
Absolutely hate it.
I know.
Anyway,
yeah, not a fan.
I'm not a fan of Crash. Minecraft.
Mein Kampf?
Wait. Rocket League. I don't think I've ever played any of these games. Well, except for Crash. Rayman Legends. The Witcher 3 Complete Edition. Happy to find this. I did not have the Complete Edition. I love this game. I know you're not a big fan.
I tried to get into it. I just didn't like the combat, and
It takes some getting used to. I fully admit that.
Okay.
Sonic Mania. Anyway. So...
What is Sonic Mania? Is it a compilation?
Sonic Mania is a game that was developed completely by just a fan of the series.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think Sega found out about it somehow, and instead of doing what Nintendo would have done, which is just probably sue him for $40 million, they said, hey, we want to publish this game and give you credit.
Wait,
and
Nintendo sues people?
So that's the story on Sonic. I'm not a Sonic fan either.
I hope they don't sue us.
Can you imagine? To your worst, Nintendo. Look around. You want your copy of Earthbound back?
You want to demonetize our channel? Yeah.
Anyway, so I started talking to the family. They were all in a giant hurry, and they were moving to Florida. I'm like, good for you. I love Florida. So I said, do you have any other video games? And his son, probably 12 years old. He's like, yeah, I have a 3DS. And he says, but I don't have the power cord. I'm like, I don't care. I love it when they say that.
They
Honestly,
act like it's a deal breaker.
Maybe I should have been more disappointed. Oh, you know the power cord?
Yeah.
Bring it out anyway. I'll take a look at it.
Yeah. Use that as leverage when you negotiate.
So he goes inside. He brought out this, which is, it's not a 3DS. It's, what do they call these things?
2DS?
The 2DS is the one that doesn't fold, isn't it? I don't know. It's
2.5 DS?
It's not in 3D, but it plays 3DS games. Good shape. Real good shape. No power cord. And 3 games. Minecraft, New Super Mario, something. I don't know. I need glasses. I can't read this stuff anymore. Mario Kart 7. And at the rate they were giving their stuff away, I could have offered him $1 for all of this. He would have taken it. You know, he's like a 12-year-old kid. I felt bad. I'm like, look. So I made a strong offer. I said, I can give you $40 for everything, including the PS4 games. And he was thrilled to get that. His eyes lit up, and I said, $40. It's like, yeah. And 3 games that I don't need that I can sell. But most of these games I'll add to my collection, even though I don't really want most of them.
I know what you mean, though, when it comes to little kids. There's part of you that's just like...
I pay up a little bit for little kids.
You pay up a little, especially if they go in their house and bring something
know.
out. Like, a lot of times I'll just buy it just because I just feel bad for them. Anyway,
did you finish Tears of the Kingdom yet?
No. I haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom. I'm probably way OP right now just because I've been, upgrading gear and beating shrines and whatnot. But and I tried to go to the water temple, but I couldn't figure out how to get in or what to do. I don't know. I still got some.
It's not hard.
Well, it was too hard for me. So we might have another month left of garage sales, if that.
Depends on the weather. Sometimes, like last year, it felt like summer lasted all the way through October.
Yeah.
And then, you wake up on November 1st and it's snowing. That's just how it is around here. It changes from summer to winter, snap of a finger.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, I'd say at least another 5-6 weeks of garage sales.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to get out a little bit more. We've had some wildfires in the area, and the smoke, like Saturday morning I woke up and it was like the smoke was so bad. Like I closed all my windows, in my house. Like it was just so dead. You couldn't even see the mountains, which were only, some of the mountains here are only 10 miles away, and like you couldn't even see it. The smoke was so bad.
It smells so gross.
It was disgusting. And I didn't even want to go. I went to a couple of sales and I just went home. Like I just can't even breathe this air. It's so bad. We're going to start seeing PS4s at garage sales.
Oh yeah, and Switches too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen more Switches. I've seen Switch games quite a bit this year. I was really hoping for Pokemon games. Like a Japanese kid goes in for video games and he comes out.
And honestly, more RPGs in general. You know what I would really love? I would really love a reason to buy an Xbox Series X or PS5.
Yeah.
Like I just keep waiting for like that one title that's just like you must buy, 10 out of 10. Like
everything they keep making is also out for previous gen. If they really want people to commit to the new generation hardware, they're going to have to come out with the next Call of Duty, the next Hogwarts, whatever game it is, and be like, this is it. No PS4, no Xbox One. I guess that's previous gen now.
Yeah, I just bought Hogwarts Legacy on the Xbox One.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they want people to buy the new hardware, they're going to have to stop making games for the old hardware. I don't know if they're going to do that.
I don't know. At this moment, the Switch is the most current console that I own. And like, man, I love buying a new console with, brand new technology and graphics and hooking it up. And like, it's just an experience. It's like, oh, this is just so fun. It just takes me back. And I would love to do that with the Xbox, but I see it at the store and I'm just like, why? Why do I want this?
I did impulse purchase the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, I didn't.
Haven't really played it much. I mean, I use it for my library of, Call of Duties and older games because it's pretty much backwards compatible with everything.
I love new technology. I love all that experience, and like, I still don't know if I want a PS5 or the Xbox.
Yeah,
it's like the first exclusive game that's like 10 out of 10 game of the decade or whatever, like the first one that comes out, like
that you can't get on any other system,
that will steer me towards that system. But so far, I don't know. Starfield's coming out soon. I don't know. It's a Bethesda game. I'm curious, but at the same time, I don't have any faith in them anymore. We haven't had an Elder Scrolls game in 12 years. Fallout, the last one sucked. I don't know.
Bethesda, I think Microsoft overpaid for Bethesda, and here's why. Because, like a couple years ago, I watched an interview with a bunch of the employees who made Skyrim. These were all the people, the game designers, and they talked. It was very interesting.
So you're an alchemist then?
Yeah. They talked about everything from the voice acting to the graphics.
All 5 of the voice actors that they used?
They had like 20 of them. Dude, Morrowind had like 5. That game, if you think Skyrim's bad, Morrowind and Oblivion, they were even worse.
I never played them, so I don't know.
At any rate, there was like at least 12 people in this interview that they talked, like a Zoom meeting, so everyone can kind of chime in. Literally all 12 of these people no longer worked at Bethesda. My point is, all of that talent that made Skyrim, they've moved on. They're not even there anymore. So even if Bethesda does finally make the next Elder Scrolls game, I don't know. Is it going to be that great? Maybe not. I don't know. I wouldn't.
I'm trying to think of the last thing that Bethesda has released.
They made the Doom games.
That didn't come from Bethesda Studio, though, did it? Pick up Doom. It's down there. Yeah, I'd be shocked if that was actually made by Bethesda.
I mean, it says Bethesda.
They published it. Who made it? Jeez, that font is small.
Right?
Dude.
I know we're over 40 now.
This is ridiculous.
But, I don't know. Did Bethesda make this game or did they just publish it? I don't know.
Okay, let's give them credit for it. Doom, and then there's a sequel to Doom. It's good.
I really enjoyed this Doom game. This is one of my favorite.
I like both of them. Doom
I haven't played the newer one.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
I should play it. There was a lot of gameplay in this. Like, it kept going on. There were several moments where I thought, this is like the end of the game. Right? This has to be it. But no, there's more and more and more. And then when you beat the game, you get to start over with all your gear. Dude, it's almost like a Super Mario Brothers 3 situation where you beat it and you start over with a bunch of P-Wings.
Or Zelda 2.
Dude, yeah. You start over with all your gear and you are so powerful. It's it's fun.
Did anyone ever beat Zelda 2 besides me? Besides us?
Besides us.
I beat it 100 times. As soon as you beat it, you start over with not all of your gear, but all of your
life,
magic, and attack.
Yeah.
It's basically an RPG. So all of your experience that you've gained, you start with all of that.
Yeah.
And then it just makes the game. It completely breaks it at that point. You can just breeze through it with one hand on the controller at that point.
You earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nintendo doesn't really do that anymore. You're right. Mario Brothers 3, same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, you beat the game. Here's your reward.
Yeah.
Now you can play through the game. You can fly through every level. Just to kind of...
If you 120 star Mario 64, and you go on top of the castle and you meet Yoshi, he gives you, I want to say 99 lives. But at that point, you've literally gotten 120 stars. There's nothing left in the game to do. Yeah. So I don't even understand what's the point of that.
We're rambling a lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, well,
I guess we're done.
Let's wrap it up. What do they do? They go like this.